demonstrating by word and deed that Nigeria will be in the forefront in the fight against corruption. And it's not only at the continental level that Nigeria must demonstrate this. Nigeria must also demonstrate our leadership position in the world. The United Nations Convention Against Corruption provides several opportunities which can be exploited by member states, including Nigeria, to ensure that funds that have been ill-gotten are repatriated, and the men and women who engage in such unconscionable and harmful behavior are punished in accordance with the law, that the world may know that if you reap where you have not sown, there are consequences to it. It is also important to create an environment that is hostile for people to participate in corruption. There was a time when I believed that procurement laws in and of themselves were a magic wand, which upon being waived would eliminate corruption in the civil service. But over the years, I've come to realize that procurement laws only allows people to steal in accordance with the law, and that therefore do not be under the impression that laws in and of themselves will solve the problem. As a young boy, I read the great Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe, who said that since men have learned to shoot without missing, a naked bird has learned to fly without perching. So we who are here must remember that when we are enacting laws regarding procurement, sometimes we do so in a manner that provides an opportunity for bureaucrats to steal in a manner that lends a veneer of legality to their illegal activities. The quality of laws that we enact are therefore very important. We must also, as a country, look at the lifestyle of the individuals who engage in public office. How is it that in Africa, when an individual whom we knew to be a pauper is appointed as a public official, whom we knew to be a pauper is elected, permit me and forgive me at once, members of Senate and members of the House of Representatives, that no sooner have you set foot in the Senate or the House of Representatives than you become a millionaire and you begin to live as if money was not a problem. If it was so easy, why aren't all of us so rich? The privatization of public wealth without consequence is something that we must frown upon. And that is why lifestyle audits are important, and I urge you to enact legislation that will require Nigerians that before you build a house as a public servant, you must show us the source of your funds. You must tell us where you got the money. And if you did that, you'd be amazed that those who build mansions will be reduced by 99%. And corruption is something that also undermines democracy. That is the tragedy of corruption. And it has now been demonstrated that in the countries where corruption has been fought and fought successfully, democracy also thrives. I've already indicated to you countries such as Mauritius and Botswana, which are the only two countries in Africa ever to have had budget surpluses, because the leaders in those countries have been in the forefront in the fight against corruption. The other thing that we must do is to create public awareness. And public awareness is not merely to tell the people that corruption is the wrong thing. People know. When people go to church on Saturdays and Sundays, they are told that corruption is a bad thing. When they go to the mosques on Friday, they are told that corruption is a bad thing. What we must do is to ensure that there is behavior change. And throughout history, it has been demonstrated that men only change their behavior when there is a threat of pain, the pain of deprivation or the pain of imprisonment. We must therefore ensure that those who engage in corruption are punished and punished in accordance with the law. I was also asked to organize jointly with you, as I now do, what are the challenges that stand in our way in the fight against corruption? In a multi-ethnic, multinational country such as Nigeria, as indeed are many African countries, the fight against corruption is even more difficult. A friend of mine, in an attempt to rationalize corruption, once said, "How is it that fish can swim in the ocean without water getting into its mouth?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "When you work in the public service, how is it that you cannot take a little out of the public service?" And I told him, "You are not a fish, and if you are a fish, close your mouth when you are swimming." And he also told me, "How can you be tethered around a tree and you do not graze on the grass that is around there?" I said, "You are not a cow, and even if you are, remember that the grass does not belong to you." There is no shortage of attempts at rationalizing corruption in Africa, and there is no way in which we are going to fight corruption without changing people's behavior. My prescription is that we must realize that those who engage in corruption belong to a different cadre of people and that they must never be owned. The culture in many African countries that if a thief is from your tribe, you say, "Yes, we know he's a thief, but he's our thief," must stop. This ownership of thieves, because they come from our ethnic groups or they come from our social class or they come from our religious circle, is one of the things that undermines the fight against corruption in many parts of Africa. We must therefore create an environment where those who engage in graft do not have places of refuge in their ethnic groups. We must not create an environment where when we punish people because they have engaged in graft, we then give them protection because they come from our tribes. It is a problem that is going to persist in a country such as Nigeria, but it is only through the legislature, which comprises people from all parts of Nigeria, that we can ensure that these thieves are not given the oxygen to breathe so that they can suffocate through their iniquities. Ladies and gentlemen, the fight against corruption is one which one can talk about for a long time. But when one is speaking in the presence of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one ought to measure one's words. One only ought to say the things that ought to be said. And therefore, as I draw to the conclusion of my presentation, there are a number of things that I think are critical in the fight against corruption in the manner that it has been demonstrated in different parts of the world. The first thing that we must do is that we must strengthen institutions. Institutions are at the very heart of the sustained fight against corruption. Your President, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, is on the right path. He has given us a clarion call. He is now recognized the world over as one of the chief fighters against corruption. But I can tell you that no matter how well-intentioned he is not going to succeed unless you support him as the legislators. He is not going to succeed unless the institutions are strengthened. And in any event, the maximum he can stay in office is 2 terms. And let me tell you one thing about those who engage in graft. They have the patience that is amazing. If they can sleep quietly for 8 years, only to emerge as greater monsters in the 9th year. And therefore, what we must do is to create institutions that defy time. Those institutions must be institutions that are recognized by the law. If it is the institution of parliament, it must stay strong. If it is the institution of the judiciary, it must be purged of the men and women who engage in graft. If it is the institution of the executive, it must be strengthened. If it is the EFCC, it must be strengthened. If it is the civil society, it must be strengthened. It is only institutions that defy time that will ensure that we succeed in the fight against corruption. The second thing that we must do is that we must have a raft of laws which ensure that those who want to do things that are detrimental to the society are punished, and punished swiftly in accordance with the law, and they are not allowed to be unleashed to the unsuspecting public. And I am happy to note that our representatives from Europe are here. For a long time, Africans who stole from Africa had safe havens in Europe. It is my joy that even Europe now is beginning to close the doors. Under the World Bank, we have mutual legal assistance. If we can ensure that those avenues are closed so that they cannot keep their money away. What amazes me is that these individuals kept their ill-gotten wealth in numbered accounts. Not their wives, not their husbands knew. So that when they died, this money was enjoyed by other civilizations. We must now ensure that those who serve in the public service do not hold accounts outside of this country. If they love this country so much that they serve her, why is it that they do not have faith in having their money in this part of the world? These are things that can only be done if we have sound laws. The third thing is that we must look at our education system. What are we teaching in the 143 universities in Nigeria? What are we teaching in our high schools? Are we teaching our young men and women that you can be celebrated simply because you have acquired wealth without its source being given? We must interrogate our curriculum, and we must involve everybody, religious leaders, traditional leaders, because how can it be that amongst the various peoples of Nigeria, you would not allow your daughter or your son to marry a thief who has stolen a goat, but a thief who has stolen naira is celebrated? We must give the goat and the naira equal value, because he's a thief is a thief. Lastly, I have no doubt in my mind that we must introduce hygiene in our politics. The day we introduce hygiene in our politics, so that our men and women who seek public office are men and women of integrity, so that our men and women who seek public office finance their campaigns in a clean manner, we will never succeed. I've always been amazed in many African countries that a person who, upon being elected, if he is a Nigerian, for 5 years will earn no more than 30 million naira, is prepared to spend 1 billion naira to go into public office. There must be something that they see that we, the electorate, do not see. And that thing is the ability and the opportunity to privatize public wealth. The day we introduce hygiene in our politics, the day we deal with the financing of our politics, that is the day that we will begin to sanitize our country, and that is the day that Nigeria will begin to be a great country. I look forward to the day, therefore, that corruption will be an exception rather than the rule. I look forward to the day, therefore, when the laws that we are enacting will be laws that will be observed. I look forward to the day, therefore, when we will have created an environment where we can prevent corruption. I look forward to the day, therefore, when national honors in Nigeria will be given to men and women who deserve it, not those who have bought them. I look forward to the day, therefore, when our young men and women in institutions of higher learning will have as their natural instinct the instinct to do good. I look forward to the day, therefore, when the EFCC may be abolished because there are no more corrupt Nigerians. I look forward to the day, therefore, when all these laws will have their pride of place. I look forward to the day, therefore, when the protocols of Africa and when the laws of Africa will be in the Museum of History because corruption will have been eliminated. I look forward to the day when we will be able to say, like the man in the Bible, corruption, where is thy sting? Corruption, where is thy sting? God bless.
32 FM 94.9.
níbi ká gbógun tàwọn àrùn tó lè sọ ní di kan jẹrẹ láì tí ìdàgbà tó nǹkan àtọ̀rá inú tí mú ní sọ̀rọ̀ àbàdì any Rehoboth Global Ventures ló ń ṣe any bitters wọ́n wà ní number 33 Ondo Street Labour Ṣótókun Avenue Bódìjà àtijọ́ Ìbàdàn telephone 0803-862-7812. bitters rèé o any bitters ti dé.
Yo, so they call you a dance legend. One move, and you have their attention. Then, when you start to crumb to the beat, everyone goes wild, screaming for more. But only the people in your area know you. Here's your chance to move from local champion to record breaker. Let your dance skills take you and your crew to the top at the Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria Dance Competition, where you get to face off with Nigeria's finest. Grab your share of 84 million naira in prizes money and stand a chance to represent Nigeria at the Battle of the Year World Tournament. Go ahead, visit glowbotynigeria.com now to enter. 84 million naira prize money, unlimited fame. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
Daniel Colin Dice Committee Band of Nigeria. I will be there. You must be there.
Something great is about to happen in the city of Ibadan.
It's the Great Gospel Crusade with evangelist Rehad Bonke's successor, Daniel Kolenda.
This 4-day Power Pack Crusade begins from Thursday 11th to Sunday 14th November 2021. Time 4 p.m. daily. Venue Amsterdam, Wofolodo, Iwo Road, Ibadan.
There will be salvation of souls. The blind will see, the lame will walk, and barren wombs will open.
There will also be fire conference for all believers from Thursday 11th to Saturday 13th November by 6:30 a.m. at the same venue. Amsterdam, Wofolodo, Iwo Road, Ibadan.
The cloud of glory is moving again in the city of Ibadan.
Don't be told the story. Be part of this historic gospel crusade with evangelist Daniel Kolenda.
Jesus is Lord.
àrí kí n dẹ̀ra fóònù tuntun kó dẹ̀ máa gbóná he bí búrẹ́dì yọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yọ nú òfun báyìí. ṣé kò ṣe pọ́n ti gbèrú mi látẹ̀yìn báyìí. wọn ò lè má gbèrú ọ̀ látẹ̀yìn sódẹ̀kẹ́ torí pé pàdé lọ́ọ́ máa dá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ fóònù. kí mo dẹ̀ máa ṣe ebi mo sọ fún ọ pé tó bá ti fẹ́ ra fóònù tí ò ní yọ lẹ́nu. Owó Source Phone and Electronic Stores ní kó máa lọ. ilé ìtajà fóònù tó fi máwọn nǹkan èlò ilé tó ń lona tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lálẹ́ hù ń bàdàn. síkú yàtọ̀ sí gbàgì. Owó Source Phones and Electronic Stores ló mójúlẹ́jà fóònù tuntun tó jẹ́ quality tó sì pápòṣọ̀rẹ́ látòrí Samsung tó fi dórí Nokia, Tecno, Infinix, INT'L, Oppo tí wọ́n sọ pé pọ̀ ní Owó Source. Wọ́n ń ta fóònù àti electronics, wọ́n tún fóònù ṣe, wọ́n sì tún ṣe SIM registration. Kódà ẹ tún lè fi fóònù àlòkù yín gba tuntun ìyẹn swap deal lọ́nà tí ò ní níyín lára. Bákan náà èyíkéyìí phone accessories tẹ́ bá ń fẹ́ ó kúnlẹ̀ bí ẹrù. Wọ́n wà ní number 1 Ìtẹ̀síwájú House along Radio Nigeria Road, Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tàbí ní suite 2 Ọláolúwa Complex, Ọjọ́ Roundabout, Ọjọ́ Ìbàdàn. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 090-4986-6984. 5 Owó Source ilé ẹrù fún fóònù tó jẹ́ ojúlówó.
32 FM 94.9.
Yo, so they call you a dance legend. One move, and you have their attention. Then, when you start to crumb to the beat, everyone goes wild, screaming for more. But only the people in your area know you. Here's your chance to move from local champion to record breaker. Let your dance skills take you and your crew to the top at the Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria Dance Competition, where you get to face off with Nigeria's finest. Grab your share of 84 million naira in prizes money and stand a chance to represent Nigeria at the Battle of the Year World Tournament. Go ahead, visit glowbotynigeria.com now to enter. 84 million naira prize money, unlimited fame. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
ẹ má forí àgbègbè wétà tí òru ọba ẹyẹ ní ṣe. Titan Farms gan la ṣíwájú nínú àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó ń roni lágbára tọ́ni sọ́nà ọ̀la. Wọ́n tún ti wá gbé tuntun dé fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ mókè ọ̀làgùn lọ́nà ọ̀rọ̀rùn. Èyí tí wọ́n pè ní ralẹ̀ kó o fi háyà buy to lease. Tó fi jẹ́ pé tó o bá ti ra èyíkéyìí ilẹ̀ oko wọn ni wọ́n tún lease rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ tó sì máa rówó lórí ẹ̀ lóòrèkóòrè. Lẹ́yìn tó bá ti gba gbogbo òwe tó o fi ralẹ̀ tó fi mọ́ rìsíìtì àti lease agreement form bó o bá ṣe ralẹ̀ oko sí ló ṣe jèrè lórí ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Titan Farms. Bá a ṣe wá nílẹ̀ oko la tún nílẹ̀ ilé lóríṣiríṣi pàápàá jùlọ ní Opulence City Mọ́níyà Cherry Court Ìlàjì tó fi mọ́ Regal Gardens Soka èyíkéyìí estate tẹ́ bá ti ralẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Titan Farms Estate lẹ́ẹ̀ma gba 500 blocks lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ tó fi mọ́ ogún àpò sìmẹ́ǹtì pẹ̀lú gbogbo òwe orí ẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ẹ má wulẹ̀ fọ̀rọ̀ játa àmọ́ ẹ kàn sí Titan Farms House báyìí ládojúkọ Motor Dealers Mart off Akala Expressway New Garage Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ máa pe 090-600-79714 website titanfarms.org ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí ìtàkùn ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ at Titan Farms NG. Titan Farms àdùnbárìn mátòṣì.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeokun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
32 FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter.
Safa sapeli sizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula
Maybe by now you already know that this radio presenter loves Professor Lumumba. Maybe I'll call myself a disciple of Professor Lumumba's political thoughts. Whenever I hear him speak, I am thrilled. Whenever I read any of his works, I am challenged. I'm challenged to engage in philosophical contemplations about the fortunes of Africa, about the fortunes of Nigeria, and of course, to start an introspection of where Nigeria as a country, Nigeria is not a nation. It is a country of nations that are unequally yoked and that are painfully glued by the greed and avarice of the European tribe from Great Britain. I have discussed that before, I think about 2 months ago. So I won't go into that today. But Professor Lumumba provokes you, if you are still open to intellectual provocation, to introspect on where Nigeria is coming from, where Nigeria is, why she is where she is, and where she is likely to end if she continues like this. I'm going to come back to do a recap of Professor Lumumba's thoughts so that then you and I can engage, because today is open mic day. In case you're tuning in for the first time, this is The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. My name is HEZEKIAH AKINRINDE. I have found that some people have come to love the program, love the presenter. They tend to align with me. And I also understand that there are people who love to hate me because of what they have called my hardline posture on the government of the day. But you see, I also believe that such people are not seeing the bigger picture. Such people are either deliberately ignorant of the truth of what we're trying to do here, or they have chosen mischief. The issue of Nigeria is beyond one man. Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired is not my problem. My problem is the ruining class, not ruling. Ruining class, RUINING, that appears to have entered into a covenant to destroy Nigeria and render her both impotent and near dead, such that even the name Nigeria evokes the darkest memories that any man can summon. October 20, 2021, there was a reported carnage. You ask me if I believe there was a massacre at Lekki Tollgate. I will tell you to read wide enough and open your mind. Go listen again to the proceedings of the Lagos State Judicial Panel on NSAS. Listen to the testimony of the state pathologist in Lagos State. Go on the internet and search out the investigative jobs that CNN, Premium Times, and of recent Fisayo Shoyombo have done. Try to go around, scourge the internet, and you'll find details of testimonies of inhabitants of Morocco who said they saw dead bodies floating on the water. Then leave Nigeria and try to read about Uzbekistan. Try to read about the days of the troubles in nations like Belarus. Read about the operations of the military in Russia. How a place can be invaded and the cleanup exercise that follows. Death and cleanup can be simultaneous. Am I saying that is what the military did? No. Am I saying that was not what they did? No. After all, my job as a journalist is to aggregate diverse opinions, put them before you, and allow you to make your deductions. But there's one thing I've also found. We deny evil happen to others because we've not tasted any of it. A drop of evil on the tongue of a man changes his testimony when next he sees the shadow of evil crouching at the door of another. May evil not befall you. May evil not befall me. On Wednesday, the 20th of October, 2021, there was an anniversary of what the hashtag NSAS advocates called the Lekki Massacre. But I prefer to call it the anniversary of tyranny, the anniversary of jackboot authoritarianism garbed in the garment of democrats. I prefer to call it a commemoration of bloodshed. Whether you accept that people were killed or not, it has been established people were injured. The military was deployed. Top-grade military weapons were deployed and used on armless protesters. There was blood. At least we can agree on that. So I decided to read a poem to celebrate popular tyranny. After all, Femi Adesina insists that this president is more popular, more acceptable, and more globally venerated than better and more illustrious sons of the country in Obafemi Awolowo, Aminu Kano, and then Nnamdi Azikiwe. So I'll read you a poem, A Song for Soweto, written by June Jordan. A song for Soweto. At the throat of Soweto, a devil language falls, slashing claw syllables to shred, and leave raw the tongue of the young girl learning to sing her own name. Where would she say water? They would teach her to cry blood. Where she would save grass, they would teach her to crave crawling into the grave. Where she would praise Father, they would teach her to pray, somebody please do not take him away. Where she would kiss with her mouth, my homeland, they would teach her to swallow this dust. But words live in the spirit of our face, and that sound will no longer yield to imperial erase. Where they would draw blood, she would drink water. Where they would deepen the grave, she will conjure up grass. Where they would take father and family away, she will stand under the sun or she will stay. Where they would teach her to swallow this dust, she will kiss with her mouth my homeland and stay with the song of Soweto. Stay with the song of Soweto. You can watch me live on YouTube and on Facebook at 32FM 949 Ibadan. At 32FM 949 Ibadan. Let me read another poem. If We Must Die was written by Claude McKay. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious sport, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed Lord. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men will face the murderer's cowardly park, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. That was If We Must Die, written by Claude McKay. I'm going to go back to Professor Lumumba's speech. But do you know how far we have actually fallen as a nation, as a people? Some tell you the PDP destroyed the country for 16 years. So we'd rather choose 6 years of rebuilding as against 16 years of destruction. And I dare ask, what are you rebuilding? What has been rebuilt? What exactly are you rebuilding in an economy that is on a free fall? In a polity that is hotter than it has ever been? In a marriage where distrust is at the highest that it has ever been? Not that we've ever trusted one another, not that we've ever really been friends, not that this marriage has ever made sense, but then it has gotten worse. And people say you're rebuilding. How many of us know Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How many of us know it? Let me show you. At the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is physiological needs. There you have air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. And Nigerians love reproduction. Have you followed the statement of experts about how our population keeps blowing up? The black man loves sex. Nigerians especially appear to have virality, very viral, in sexual entanglements. Maybe Maslow foresaw a time like this when he came up with a hierarchy of needs. The second level is safety needs. That's the second lowest level. There you have personal security, employment, resources, health, and the likes. Then next to it, you have love and belonging. That's where you have friendship. This is emotional. Friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection, and the rest. And then the second top is esteem, respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength. And then at the top of the log is self-actualization. This is the desire to become the most that you can be. Here, your potentials are unleashed. There are no more restrictions. Nothing holds you back anymore. But when you look at this, for the past 61 years, Nigeria has not broken off. Nigeria has not been able to break off the lowest two. That is the safety needs and the physiological needs. We are still struggling with employment. We are still struggling with adequate resources. Our health sector is zero. There is nothing happening in that space, save for the intervention of private enterprises. Personal security, no. Have you been following the news of security scares? I still read one this morning as I came into the studios. And then come to physiological needs. We appear to be perpetually fixed at the level of physiological needs. Politicians are still campaigning with pipe-borne water. When last did the public tap run, even in Oyo State? I was thinking about it 3 days ago. Virtually everyone now who can afford it is sinking a borehole in their homes. You don't have borehole, you have to get a well. If you cannot dig your well to find water, then you are at the mercy of your more fortunate neighbor, who either has a well or who has a borehole sunk in his compound. And the day you offend him, he withdraws that privilege. Because there's no water to have your bath. Politicians still campaign with shelter. They will tell you we are going to build houses. Low-cost housing estates. Politicians still campaign with food. I saw a video this morning of a group of paid enthusiasts campaigning for a popular politician, about the most popular after the president in the ruling party. I'm not going to mention names. And they were singing that once you make this person a president, no more hunger, we will have food. It was all about food. And the question I asked myself is Is this a point where we have hit? We have hit the point where telling people, don't worry, there will be food, is the most important campaign promise we can make. Now you can understand why Femi Adesina, the special advisor to the president of media, can confidently say this president is more popular than those who were intellectual giants. Why? Because now popularity and acceptance are measured by mundane things which are very far below the dignity of a human being. You're going to permit me to take a music break. I'm not sure this program will be complete if we do not pay a tribute to those who lost their lives during the #EndSARS protests. I'm talking about the policemen who were killed in Lagos, those killed in Ibadan and other parts of the country. While we could say the Nigerian police force as, how do I put it now? The Nigerian police force, yes, as a making of the government, has failed. We're not impressed by what they do. We must understand that that machinery of government is also peopled by fathers and sons, mothers and sisters and daughters. Not all of them are bad. Although when you have one bad egg in the basket, it messes the whole basket up. So we will also pay tribute to them. And we will pay tribute to young Nigerians who were felled by the bullets of tyranny. I see your message, Okedi Baba, today. On Facebook you wrote, we are reading, but some groups of journalists still write, causing illusion and distorting the truth. You don't know which one to believe, because you're not there, but reading what is presented on the tabloid or media houses. Journalists should be fair in reporting. I agree with you, Okedi Baba, today. You could be confused when there's a litany of information and not many people are able to distill. But you may need to take out a day or two to find the logical connection between the stories you're reading. I'm sure if you pay attention, you will distill the stories. You will know which one is real. And then you also judge by historical evidence. Historical evidence. Go back to the days of uniformed wickedness. How the military could operate. You may even try to read as far back as the Civil War, when a whole community was ruined and buried, so that evidence would not be traced. I mean, just go around and read some of these things. And then you try to find if an agency of the government, or if agents of the government in a particular focus are acting true to type, true to repetition or not. That may help you, okay, dear. But I shared a hope with people on Facebook, I think 2 days ago. I said I'm confident that a lie may go on, a lie may lead the way for 30 years, but in one day the truth will catch up with it. And what am I expecting to happen? Very soon in the future, there will be a reenactment of the late Justice Oputa panel A truth commission will be set up someday, because October 20, 2020 will not go away. One day we will come back to address it. Nobody ever saw Oputa panel coming. Nobody ever saw that issues around June 12 will be discussed. Issues around the Fathom coup, where Dia was condemned to death, will be discussed. Nobody ever thought the deaths of Abacha and Abiola, MKO Abiola, would be revisited. Nobody ever thought about those things. So we are confident that one day, there will be a revisiting of this issue, and the truth will come. Either of the two sides that has lied will be exposed. The nation is already stripped naked. Did I just say nation? The country is already stripped naked. We are laid bare in the eyes of the world. Everybody can see. They're looking at us. They know what we are doing. They know what we have failed to do. But I'm confident if we do not die, we will be alive to see the truth come to the fore someday. I'm going to play See You Again by Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth. This is in honor of those who fell during the protests last year. I'll be back in a moment.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.